All right, here we are, another week around the trash fire. Your host Matthias, along with the boy.
John.
Well, it was a nice break we had.
Yeah, lots of content to talk about. Just in time for Adepticon, and it's not even Adepticon yet.
True. Now for another, well, tomorrow when this video gets posted. I believe it starts, right? Wednesday?
Wednesday, yep. So I believe 8 p.m. is the stream start. So hoping to watch it with some friends and make fun of the host yet again.
Why you gotta be so mean, John?
And hey man, I gave them a year and it's still not very good.
Well, I feel like they're gonna knock it out of the park this year. They're gonna have that
Nah,
great stage presence.
I doubt it.
Well, I'll agree to disagree. But we have some catch up we need to do. There's a few things that happened last week that came out. So we're just
Hmm.
gonna start off with Saturday pre-order or preview, I should say, which is last week's Sunday preview. So let's just pull that up there. Pretty much, Blades of Corn coming out officially. Now, no big surprise there. But we got in their book. We getting the Ritualist, which beautiful model. I think I'm gonna pick that up, as we talked about this one a lot last
Mhm.
podcast. The Vanguard, the Blade of Corn, it's coming out. Kind of meh, in my opinion, but it's whatever. I'm sure standard units. The cards, of course. The dice, kind of bland. Just a solid red with yellow. The corn symbol. The Hedonists of Slanesh are coming out as well. Uh, kind of surprised they didn't do a two-player box set where they fighting, but that's fine. We're getting that. We're getting Lord Hubris, the most unslaneshi model I've seen. But he's coming out. We're getting the Hedonists of Slanesh's box set. And I mean, I just look at this and I see such better model representation of Slanesh than Lord Smug or whatever he was just called.
It's a pretty cool box. Just remember that the Slangors would make cool or the Slangors would make cool demons for 30k, which we could talk about more later because we got some good demon rules up.
How come they didn't make any corn gores? Is it because they
It's a
wanted
good
to drift
question.
away from
Yeah,
the goat people?
it's a very good question why we don't get Korngors. Korngors are cool.
They don't exist yet, but one day. We got that, we got the cards, the dice, again, hearing the corn dice. Got some made to order or the ring stuff. Mines of Moria. You never picked up that box set. I still have that box somewhere around here. You get that. You got what is this? Ambush at Amonhen. I didn't know this was a box set, but you can get that. Some Mumax. I already have two. I don't think I need a third one. I've never even used two in a game, so it would be cool to use it though. If only I knew some people who are interested in Lord of the Rings.
Mm.
Hmm. But we got that going. We got what's it called? The Hobbit. I'm not too familiar with the White Orc character. I can't remember his name. But he's there. You got some Warg Riders, I think. Uh, all the dwarves from the Hobbit movie. Spiders. Some trolls. Got a lot of stuff here. A lot of stuff here. Undead. the ring wraiths. Well, not the ring wraiths. One ring wraith on the dragon, and the undead. It's not the army of the dead, right? This is a completely different thing.
Yeah, the Army of the Dead is different from the spirits and stuff.
Okay, so yeah, we got the spirits. And that is that. That is a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff happening. Already up for pre-order if any of this has interested you. But we got something else. We got, of course, the classic Sunday preview of this week's. And it's a 40k. We're getting Arcs of Omen.
Yeah, lots of the new star collectings, which are the boarding patrols.
Yes. Just want to go over Arcs of Omen here really fast. Pull up this image. Alright. So, Arcs of Omen. It's gonna be obviously the Xenos book. It's gonna be the Tau, the Eldar, Ynnari, Drukhari, Harlequins, and for some reason, Adeptus Sororities are all gonna be in this book. So, Orcs unfortunately aren't gonna be here. Trying to think of another Xenos. Necrons aren't gonna be in this book. I'm missing someone. Tyranids. Tyranids are not going to be in this book. So, not much love for those Xenos, but hey, next book will probably be the Lion, and then 10th edition. But yep, there we go. Farsight book coming out. Boarding patrols. We got the Tau one. Tau one looks pretty good. Pretty standard. I mean, these are for the boarding actions, so can't go wrong with a couple breacher squads and Tau suits.
Currently, the only way to get Farsight. So if you really want Farsight, kind of get this box.
Yep. Oh no, I think pretty good for this one. The dice are not terrible, but they're okay. Still hate that they've been reduced 10 to 15, but whatever. The Arcs of Omen poster. Orcs. You tell me, John. Yes?
I mean, if you want Snickrot, this is the only way to get it. I do like this box because you get the kill team commandos. So if you want to play kill team, it's great. If you get Snickrot. I think all in all, if you don't have these units, it's a great buy. If you already have commandos, I'm not sure. I mean, it's not a bad buy, right? This box, especially with 10th right around the corner.
Yeah, I would agree. I think this one's okay. Harlequin. I mean, not Harlequins. Eldari. This one is pretty bad in my opinion. Because the Corsairs are already, not that great, but if you want to pick up some extra Corsairs, you can do this. Janzar, though, is... I don't know. I don't think it'd be worth really picking up the Eldari one. I think the Eldari one's pretty weak.
I should save these recordings for when new rules come out and to see how off the mark our predictions are sometimes. I remember one time I said oh, this box sucks, and it turned out that's the new meta. I forgot what it was, but I remember I was talking to a buddy about it, and it was just kind of funny.
Well, we talk about current meta. So
oh, this is a week later. It's some dude won a tournament with that box, and it's oh, well then.
Well, I mean, things happen.
Things happen.
Things happen. But
and it moves fast.
I mean, if you want to get the kill team Corsairs, you definitely can get them here. But I don't definitely something I wouldn't pick up, in my opinion. It's up to you or the Void Scars. Uh, what's this called? Jukari. Kind of underwhelming. I mean, unless you need witches, this is a good buy. Other than that, kind of underwhelming. But of course, this is a Jukari player who already owns like 40 witches. So I kind of don't need any more of this. But
Yeah, a lot of these boxes, if you already have these units, probably not necessary. Like the Corsairs one, who needs 20 Corsairs, right? Unless you really like Corsairs.
Corsair Army, John. Corsair Army.
Yeah, I guess if you want to run a Corsair army, but yeah, if you're new and you're starting this faction, these are all like great buys because I mean, what else are you gonna get? It's you get this at a discount, but I mean, none of them are like terrible. And if a box is terrible, I imagine like if it's just 30 Terminators or something. I think a lot of these have a nice variety of units that, especially that could fill you can make a patrol detachment. So these are all legal armies, which makes them good buys.
That's all for boarding. But yeah, this is like I said. If you need to start up your witch cult section in your Jukari, this is a good buy. I would recommend this. And of course, Incubi. Can't go wrong with Incubi. Those things are still monsters. Moving on to the Grey Knights. You get what's this? Crow, right? Yeah, it's Crow.
Yeah, Castle and Crow and some Grey Knights.
Obviously, Grey Knights don't have the best unit diversity, but
Yeah.
it's
Although the kit is pretty flexible, the kit you can build several different units. You could build the teleport unit, you could build the heavy weapons unit, or you could build the generic strike squad. So yeah, variety in one kit, but ultimately it's just power armored Grey Knight with stuff. Same for the Terminators. You could build the Paladins or the regular Terminators, but ultimately it's just variation of the Terminators. So definitely not a lot of variety in model design for the Grey Knights. But that's what you get, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's an elite army for you. So we got them. Necrons. I'm excited for the Necron box. As someone who doesn't really have new Necrons, I could definitely see myself picking this up. The
Yeah,
Warriors are a bit whatever, but everything else is pretty nice.
Yeah, this is a good buy if you either bought the starter set and you want to expand, or you just want to start with Necrons. This is great. Interestingly, does not have an HQ choice, so you kind of need an HQ choice. um, if you want to play regular 40k, I'm not super familiar with the boarding action rules if you need an HQ or not, but if you want to play regular 40k, you do need that.
I believe the boarding one option or HQs are optional.
Yeah.
I think. Again, I have not played any of the boarding actions, so not really too interested in it. Yes, Necron, very nice. Okay, and then we move on to Steel Legion, Armageddon. Making made to order models from back in the day. If you really want these, I assume they're going to be metal because they are old. Old models were metal. So you want to build a old Steel Legion army, now's your chance. You got Las Cannon, Heavy Bolter, I think. Commissar. I'm gonna assume lieutenants, special weapon, and then of course you got a regiment. And then they're making a made to order. Say this box set, I guess, if you want to just bulk up on that and save some deals. I do like when GW brings back these old models. Not
Yeah,
for me, obviously, but you know, it gives me hope that one day that they will remake them, but each day seems less and less likely. You know, it's gonna be more of like a, you want your Australians? Well, you can get them in this kill team box because that's all they're gonna get. But it would be good to see more variety in the guard army instead of just Cadia.
Mm-hmm.
I do miss the variety armies out there. So that's your chance, guard players, to be standing out and being Steel Legion instead of Cadia. So we got that. Necromunda. We're finally getting Lady Herrera.
Lady Hera.
Hera, sorry. And yeah, I'm definitely picking this up.
Yeah, this will probably be my Lord Marshal for my Solar Auxilia army in Horus Heresy. This is a great model.
Yeah, I don't care that it's Finecast, Forge World, Finecast, whatever, resin. Uh, I got a guy for that. You know, he'll fix it up, clean it up real good. But yeah, picking this up. Black Library. Let's see, we got the Shadow Sun book. We got a what is this book in French? And then Warhammer Plus. We're getting Lore Master, Wrath of the Soulforged King. We'll probably find out what's happening up on up there on the rock, and see how Vashdor wakes up the lion. And then, of course, we'll talk more in depth about this later. We got Adepticon happening this week. Big announcement this Wednesday and Thursday. And yeah, get there when we get there. We got a few other things we need to talk about. Like the Black Library character getting a model. Minka Lesk, the Imperial Guardsman woman. And it's a good looking model.
Yeah, it's plastic too, which is great. If if you like this character, I mean, I'm jealous that this model is out because there's a lot of characters I love in Black Library that I wish got models. So this is great. If you're a fan of Minka Lesk, well, here's her model, right?
What character did you want for Black Library?
Let's see, Hansu would be great. Talos Valkorin would be great. Ygethamor / Iskander Kaon would be great. A bunch of Horus Heresy dudes like Ryan Dimian. He's a great character. We got Argel Tal, which is awesome. Thank you, whoever made his model and wrote his rules. Bunch of Siege of Terror characters would be awesome to have on the tabletop.
But who would be the number one?
The number one that would get a model.
Who is your number one that you want to have?
It's a good question. There's one Black Library character that I mean, Abaddon is my favorite Black Library character, and he already has a model. So let's look at Siege of Terror. Is there any Siege of Terror character that I would want? That's not necessarily like a special guy like Ascalon, who was leader of the Sanguinary Guard. He's too special.
Malcador.
Malcador would be cool. He's kind of important though. But like random Black Library character, I guess Talos, because the Night Lord trilogy is a pretty famous. It's probably the best Chaos Space Marine books. They're among the best Chaos Space Marine books. I was gonna say trilogy, but there's not too many Chaos Space Marine trilogies. So I would say, yeah, Talos Valkorin would be amazing on the tabletop. Even though he's kind of an older character.
Hey, but Night Lords, they have a sick aesthetic, in my opinion.
They do have really cool designs, so yeah. Gaunt got models, Eisenhorn is a model.
If only I had a red Eisenhorn back in the day, I would have picked up that model. I'm sure I could pick it up somewhere. No, or they'll release it someday. But yeah, there we go. If you're interested in this character, from her book series. She is now available. Oh, not yet. She will be available. Moving on to the next thing. Dante has been revealed. I heard he got leaked.
Yeah,
I heard someone ordered a Dante model, then they got the current model, or this model.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unclear if that was intentional or not, like the other leaks. So yeah, we got Dante.
we all knew Dante was gonna get Primerified.
Yeah, I mean after Azrael, it was only a matter of time because all the other dudes got Primarisified.
Well, let's go over it. How are you looking, Blood Angel? You liking this?
Oh, he's awesome. It took a while for me to warm up to him, but I like that there's some subtle redesigns on his model that I think let's put it this way, I think this is a better model than Azrael. But actually, this is a better model than Azrael and Calgar in what it's trying to do, which is be a Primaris 2020's upgrade of a fine cast special character, firstborn special character. And among those three, I think he does the best job for the chapter masters. I think Shrike and Helbreck are way better models than him. But I think he's a better model than Calgar and better model than Calgar and Azrael.
Well, Azrael is pretty, low tier. So
Azrael is Azrael is a good model, but he's the epitome of the Eldar, like the Eldar Guardian remake of just it's the same design more or less, just HD and well in his case Primarisified. Like the helmet is the same, right? But for Dante, they changed his helmet a bit. The jump pack is different. It's the new Primaris style jump pack. His legs are slightly different. The design of the model is quite different, and I love the pose actually. It's an echo of the some artwork that was made of Dante for some new Dante novels. It's the same exact pose. I hope I there's gonna be Primera Sanguinary Guard coming out. And I think he would look cool with them. Right now he looks kind of just I mean let's dial it back a bit. I was never the biggest fan of the Dante design in the first place. So ultimately, this isn't a model that's like, ooh, I really want this model in the way that Shrike and Helbrecht got my attention. I started Raven Guard and Black Templars more. Well, for sure, I started Raven Guard because of Shrike, and Helbrecht really pushed me to do Black Templars along with Grimaldus when they were released. But this model, like, he's cool, and he doesn't make me want to play Blood Angels in 40k. I have other reasons why I don't play Blood Angels in 40k, but like this model doesn't make me want to do that. He's great. I might pick him up at some point. I can see myself picking him up and just to paint him because Dante's a cool character, and I hope that they touch upon that space, the Blood Angels thing, where before the Horus Heresy, before they met Sanguinius, they would do this thing where they would eat the brains of the old, Legion Master to get his memories, and essentially he would live on, and Dante is the oldest Space Marine alive right now, so it would be kind of cool if in reality it's actually different chapter masters that keep eating the previous ones, brains, so they inherit his memories. So that if that's the case, it makes me, that would make me want this model even more because it would make me want to learn about, probably made me want to read his model. Made me want to read his novels more. So, as a character, he's cool, but the design, I was never the biggest fan of the golden armor, the death mask. I do not like. I'm a big Blood Angels guy. I do not like the death mask. I think it's just not my cup of tea. So yeah, don't like that. But again, like, does it do its job of being a Primaris version of a firstborn chapter master? Yes. Does it do it well? Yes. And again, to reiterate, it does this job better than Calgar and Azrael. this model makes the character, in my opinion, this model makes the Calgar model kind of suck, to be honest. So I am pleased with this, and very impressive pose too with the tactical rock 1 foot thing.
Yeah,
So
well, doesn't do him any favors in the game. Makes him look cool, but in the game, that's a very tall model. You ain't hiding him.
I mean, rule of cool, right? If rule of cool,
Full of cool. Yeah,
rule of cool.
one way of looking at it. But yeah, there we go. Dante. Brought by accident. So, they had to just release it after
Yeah,
GW accidentally sent the
yeah.
wrong
Unclear
Dante.
if it was accident. I think it was an accident because there's no way they give free models like this, But maybe they do. Who knows? Maybe it's part of their new plans. Who knows, right? So
Yeah, I would have to be an accident, right? Because
yeah,
there's no Blood Angel. I mean,
it's
if
not on the
all
horizon.
as rumors go, like there's no Blood Angel on the horizon. Everyone's hyping up the Lion returning right now. So you think they'd
There
be?
were some rumors. There were some rumors back in the day, not back in the day, like a few months ago, about Blood Angels being the 10th edition starter set and coming with like Sanguinary Guard and all that. So I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's gonna be the Lion. I don't know if it's gonna be Ultramarines. So
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
you
Asriel
were.
coming out right now is weird if the Lion was happening because James Workshop rarely, if ever, does staggered releases like that. But who knows? It's a new edition. I don't know.
Yeah, but you were pretty adamant on the fact that GW no longer releases, uh, you know, specific chapters for the starter set.
No, I mean what I'm saying is they do like a red, a Blood Angel color scheme or a Dark Angel color scheme for the starter set, and then follow it up with some Blood Angel or Dark Angel releases
Got it. Got it.
when the Codex comes out. But yeah, for sure the starter set will not have any chapter specific units. But it's possible that they're gonna break the mold and instead of doing Ultramarines, they'll do Blood Angels and Dark Angels. Now, if you ask me, I will put money that that's not the case because when I was working for GW, there is a reason Ultramarines are the cover model. They're the poster boys, and it has nothing to do with Matt Ward, despite the rumors. No, it 100% has to do with the color scheme. Like that blue and gold is just so easy to look at and is so cool. I mean, Stormcast are literally they have the same scheme as Ultramarines. It's gold with blue trim, or sorry, blue shoulder pads. And the new Stormcasts have blue cloaks, and because that color scheme is so easy to look at. The Dark Angels green, while I like that, I don't know if that's as striking for new players. Blood Angels red, same thing. I like that scheme, obviously, but I'm not sure if that is a scheme that appeals to new folk in the way that Ultramarines and Stormcast. I mean, I've asked some friends. Like, I remember I was chatting with my friend. I asked her, "Hey, like, if you were the leader of a kingdom and you were in charge of the uniform colors of your army, what would it be?" And she was like, "Oh, it would be blue with like maybe gold." And like, yeah, and literally the Ultramarine scheme. And she had no idea what Ultramarines are, right? Because that's just a cool scheme. So going, circling back to the starter set, I think it's gonna be Ultramarines because that scheme is so good to look at. So, but who knows? It could be wrong, right? It could be wrong. Could be Blood Angels or Dark Angels.
Well, I mean, it's a good insight to have. I mean, I never knew. I just assumed they picked it because it's clearly the most generic of all the chapters.
Yeah.
But, good to know that it's obviously there for marketing purposes of catching your eye. But I think we've gushed enough over Dante here. I think it's time we talk about the other side, which is Chaos. And they've released the Vashtar's rules. Now, did you happen to take a look at them?
Yeah, and initial thoughts, not having not really playing 40k right now. If you like demon engines, he's great. If you're not taking demon engines, he's useless. So That's my 30-second review of him.
Yeah, he's kind of like the Avatar in that he's just a big beat stick. He does buff up demon engines, so he is good. Uh, Currently, if you're Thousand Suns and Death Guard, you cannot take him. I mean, you can, but he doesn't have the. I'm blanking on the rule here. Agents of Chaos, I think is what it's called.
Right.
Sorry, he has it. The Thousand Suns and Death Guard do not have that rule, so you can't really take him with that to do anything. He's just a big giant beat stick. Looking at his rules here.
He does buff demon engines, so that's when I saw that. I'm like, well, if you don't take demon engines, he kind of sucks because he does have that rule that gives him +1 to hit,
Right.
and he doesn't hit hard enough to justify taking him without demon engines, especially for his cost. So, but he does beat things up really hard.
He's good. He's got. I mean, if you send him against some vehicles, he's kind of like what's his name? Void Dragon. You know, Void Dragon is really good at destroying vehicles. Yeah. So I mean, every 5+ to wound a vehicle with his little hammer there. 4 more wounds to a vehicle. Pretty good. Other than that, yeah, he's just a giant beat stick right now. Maybe there'll be some combos with him later on when 10th edition drops, but 7 attacks, 2+ save, movement 12, strength 7, toughness 7, with a 4+ invul, and a subtract 1 damage. So he'll take a while to kill, but still manageable to do in 1 turn if you're willing to dump the firepower into him. And then, of course, you got his stratagems and abilities. Again, like John said, it's more for buffing the vehicles.
Demon engines, specifically.
Sorry, demon engines. Yes, sorry. So, will he be taken? Time will tell.
Time will tell.
I think he'll be experimented with, of course, because new model, new character. But demon engines, I don't know. And I think he has to be your warlord if you take him. So another con of taking him. If Vash gains a warlord trait, you must have the warlord trait. Oh yeah, Lord of Terror. Can't remember which one it is. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I don't think the demon engines right now are that powerful. But then again, out of all the time I've played, I've never really seen a demon engine really put on the field. Never seen a Mauler Fiend on the board. Or the other one. What's the other one called? Yeah. I can't believe I'm blanking on the name right now. Regardless, I've rarely seen any of the demon engines on the board. So, if you want a beat stick, this is your beat stick for 260 points. So, like I said, just as much as the Avatar. But moving on, I know John will be a little excited for this news here because he's been wanting this ever since, I don't know, beginning of this year. 30k, we got them demons. The Bound Demons. Get some little demon rules here for you, John.
Yeah, this is simultaneously underwhelming and like hype as fuck. um, it's underwhelming because it's like 4 units. So one of which already has rules. So essentially, it lets you take Kabanda, which already has rules. Samus, which is like the dumbest, scariest demon in the Horus Heresy series. Side tangent. Samus is the definitive definition of whatever. Definitive definition of something is less scary when it gets a model, because this guy was the scariest son of a gun. I don't think there's any scarier moment than when Samus appears in the first Horus Heresy novel, and then he gets a model and it's like, oh, that's what he looks like. He's funny. Anyways, so he gets rules and they're great. And then generic demon HQ, like big monstrous HQ, gets rules. Not a lot of weapon options, but he's there. And then the brutes get rules. Interestingly, these are all Forge World units. So the Demons of the Ruinstorm Amulets from 1.0 does let you take the plastic Age of Sigmar / 40k demon range, but this mini rule set only has rules for the Forge World stuff. So, if you want Bloodletters or Demonettes, you're kind of SOL. But if you want to include demons, and once again, technically you don't have to include or use the Forge World models, because you could happily use Slangors, like I was saying earlier, or Beats and Nurgle as demon brutes. You could use a Demon Prince model as the Demon Regent, which is the HQ. And yeah, it gives you rules to run those. So now the Esoterist has a job. It doesn't just exist to do nothing. Erebus can now summon these guys. So, when these came out, I immediately ordered some Demon Brutes and Samus, because Samus is really, really nuts. His rules are great. So I mean, it's not a lot, but it's a good start. And you get to play demons now. It's not chaos, traitor players. You get to summon some demons in your army, and these are different from the Ruinstorm army lists. So they do mention in the article that this is kind of a stopgap-ish before the Demons of the Ruinstorm full army list comes out. So this is not the end of it. They have said that they will, not only demons will be coming out as a full list, but they also remind us that the militia list will come out during the summer. So they actually give like a kind of rough timeline, just like a vague timeline when these will be coming out, which is going to be the summer, quote unquote. But I mean, overall, the rules are great. They're not underwhelming at all in terms of what they could do in the battlefield. Samus hits pretty hard. Interestingly, his warlord trait is he forces invulnerable saves to be rerolled in a challenge, which it's pretty nasty. He does a lot of damage, strength 8, AP 2 on initiative on his melee attacks, so he's instant deathing Terminators. His weapon skill 6, so he can go toe to toe with Dreadnoughts quite easily and win. There's a generic Demon HQ as well, if you just want to include, Samus does cost 380 points. If you just want to pay 130 for a generic HQ, you can. And the brutes are pretty good. They got 3 wounds each, toughness 5, so they're not instant dying to power fists. Still gotta watch out for Dreadnoughts though with their brutal 3. And they're only weapon skill 4, which kinda sucks. That means that they don't expect them to win fights against elite melee units because of their lower weapon skill, and they only have AP3 weapons. But they're cheap, 135 for 3 of them, 4 up armor save, 5 up invul, 3 wounds each, toughness 5, strength 5. They're not bad. And then of course you got Kabanda. Essentially he has the same rules as he had when his rules first came out, and it just gives you rules for summoning them in the battlefield, and gives you some options too. You get to customize the generic regent and the brutes with some different rules. You can give them like feel no pain, or you can give them move through cover, or different melee rule, like chaos spawn style melee, random melee rules, stuff like that. So Yeah, they're great. I'm glad. I'm very happy. But again, like it's only 4 units, and 2 of them are named characters. So it's not a lot, but it's something, and it's definitely something to tide us over until the summer when the full rules come out. And again, this is hype. I, especially as a word bearer player, immediately ordered some demons. Happy to include them in my list. So this is great. This is not exactly what we've been asking for, but we're like the community. I can speak for the community because I've read all the comments. We're pretty happy about this, and super excited to see more. But for now, this is great, and yeah, looks like finally the prayers to the the ruinous powers have been answered, and we got some demon rules. And oh gosh, that Samus model is so ugly. I'm just reading the article right now. Holy cow.
Yeah, I had to look up what the Samus model looked like because I have no idea because I don't.
Like literally the definition of
And
scary thing in the novels, and then herpaderp.
yeah, and when I looked it up, I'm like, oh, it's that thing. This
Yeah,
this big giant dog thing in the middle. I thought
yeah,
that was just a conversion from a giant.
no, it's a 4-year-old model.
Oh my.
Literally, I reread that section, after the first time, after the model came out, and it loses that feel of like dread and fear, because when you first read it, it's like, what is this thing? Like this weird demon, and the way they frame it, it's like they don't know what it is, right? Because they never encountered demons yet. But now you imagine the model, and it's like, oh, it's that loser.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad
um,
design model in my
it
opinion.
doesn't help. Yeah, it doesn't help that when I say loser, he literally is a loser because he appears like twice more in the heresy and then dies immediately, like in the same, within like 50 pages, he dies again. So,
A real winner, huh?
anyways, yeah, not a winner at all. But anyways, again, very happy about this. So, yay, slow clap.
Slow clap. Well, it's a good thing we didn't do a stream last week because I know you would have been very disappointed with the Heresy Thursday reveal because it was a Vindicator. Are you
Yes.
happy?
Uh, I mean, I'm not sad, but I'm actually okay. I'll say this. Let's end on a good note with this heresy Thursday. I mean, yeah, it's a Vindicator, but it is a multi kit, which is great. You get to build. Hopefully, it's like easily swappable, but you get to build a Vindicator with the crappy Demolisher cannon or the super cool laser. I forgot the exact name of the laser. Neutron laser. Bam! There you go. So yeah, it's a multi kit, which is awesome. I like that you don't have to buy 2 of them if you want both of them, and if it's easily magnetizable, then that's even better. So sucks that it's another tank, but they have promised us that they will be revealing plastic infantry probably at Adepticon. So
Well,
yeah,
you
this is
know,
fine.
you know what we got this week? A reminder about the chassis for the Contemptor Dreads.
Yeah, so yeah, they will be released. Yeah, reminder that hey guys, we're gonna charge you $40 for these chassis on top of the dreadnought that you're gonna buy, the plastic one. So here you go. A reminder that we're the Raven Guard one. Gosh, like it has like a tattoo that goes from the shoulder to the leg, and it doesn't work anymore. It just has this weird scar on its like lower left torso. Gosh, this is a terrible choice. Anyways, I mean, if you want to hear me rant about it, watch the episode where they first announced this, and just if you want to hear John angry
Yeah, that was like
at
3 weeks
Resident,
ago, I think.
yep,
So
check that out. So yeah, sad face.
yeah, there's not much more we need to add to this other than just showing off the other versions. Because I think they only showed off like 6 last time.
Yeah, thankfully, okay. The flip side is they just announce all of them at once instead of dragging it out. It's like,
Yes.
hey guys, here are the rest of them. It's happening. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah, unfortunately. That would be the end of 30K. Now, Adepticon. It's going to be a seismic Warhammer preview. I mean, do we even want to go into it?
Yeah, predictions.
Yeah, let's go. Let's start with what we least know. Underworlds.
Random warband. I'm gonna stick to my guns and say not a generic warband. It's gonna be another cool one like we're used to seeing. So
I hope so because the
yeah,
last two have been pretty underwhelming.
yes, very underwhelming. So well, the one previous was all right, but
The
the one
last one was
before
the
the one before the
elves.
last one, but the Daughters of Cain one was incredibly whatever. So I hope it's not something at that level.
Yeah. All right, kill team.
The final box. I hope it's Tyranid. Okay. I hope it's Tyranids. Unless they're like. So two predictions. One, it's an actual new kill team box. The other prediction is it's gonna be the Shadow Clears video we're gonna talk about later. So I want to let's save it for that. But I hope whatever it is, I hope it's gonna have plastic Tyranids, which would that's I think what a lot of people are wanting right now. No one's really clamoring for kill team demons. So yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think it's going to be Tyrannid related.
Oh, I just remembered this. So the Arbites are in kill team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they have a rule where they can arrest enemies, which makes sense. You're fighting some traitor guard, you could arrest them, but it's like, wait a second, you could arrest custodies and demons and tyrannids. So
Well,
I
nothing can escape
nothing
the hands of justice.
exactly. You're a demon. It's like you have the right to remain silent, and it's like, I'm a demon. But yeah, anyways, so side tangent. That's pretty funny. Go buy some Arbites and
I didn't even know that.
arrest some Space Marines. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like someone pointed that out. It's like, wait a second, you could arrest demons and custodies. Makes no sense, but whatever.
I might just buy it just so I can do that.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty fun.
All right
Anyways,
then.
yeah, that's the
AOS.
prediction. AOS. I mean, the dream is so there's two predictions here, three predictions. One is more Codex roadmap. So I'm sorry, Battle Tome roadmap. So the next few Battle Tomes that we don't know exactly about, they're gonna do that. And the other prediction is more Seraphon models. I think it's a pretty safe bet. But what I want is finally seeing some Cities of Sigmar models. That would definitely hype me up for AOS if we got those. So that's my hopeful prediction is the Cities of Sigmar.
I'm gonna go with Bone Reapers. I think the Bone Reapers are gonna get something out of this
I'd be down for that. I mean, I have a Bone Reapers army that will be painted someday.
because I think if I remember the roadmap, I think was two undead.
Yeah, so which is probably Flesh Eaters and Bone Reapers.
Yeah, so that'll be my choice. Bone Reapers slash Flesh Court. I think there's gonna be probably the two likely options. It'd be nice if they teased uh the humans, but I doubt it.
One can hope. I mean, they are making a big deal out of this preview, so one can hope.
Oh, it's supposed to be seismic,
Yeah, right.
and I don't think, as much as I want to believe, I don't think 10th is gonna be seismic enough. It's got to be something big.
So are we doing the 40k one now or
We're doing heresy.
heresy plastic infantry? If it's a tank, people will be pissed. Like straight up, like you want to piss people off, reveal another tank. But they have been saying plastic infantry is happening, so that's my prediction is they're gonna reveal some plastic infantry for Horus Heresy. Probably breachers. I don't think they're gonna do despoilers because they just announced those awful resin chain swords. Assault squads would be hilarious because people will just not put the jump pack on, and then you got plastic despoilers. So I think the realistic prediction, assuming they are doing plastic infantry, is breachers. Watch them be like recon or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna predict a vehicle. I think a vehicle is gonna happen.
You're in a vehicle, okay?
It's gonna be like a dreadnought, not a contemptor. It's gonna be another dreadnought though.
Oh, plastic Daredeo, I would not be mad because it's not a tank.
Oh, there we go. Plastic Dorito. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Dorito. No, I hope it's breachers. That's a prediction as breachers.
All right, 40K, the big one,
So
because we all know it's gonna be 10th edition.
yeah, To what extent, I don't know. And the reason I'm saying that is that last year during Adepticon, they announced Horus Heresy, but all we got was that awesome cinematic and like one image of one plastic Mark 6 Marine. That's all we got. So if the trend continues, I can imagine some kind of cinematic trailer for the new edition and some new plastic Primaris or Tyranid thing. That's my prediction there for 40K. Because we're kind of done with the Codex roadmap, right? I mean, yeah, it would be that it would be a 10th edition. But I don't I mean 40K usually gets some model or unit. I don't know what that's going to be like.
Well, if
I
I
have no
had to
idea.
make my prediction, cinematic sounds about good. I think it'll be a cinematic where we'll see, I don't know, guardsmen or space marines fighting Tyranids, and we'll see all the new bugs. And as soon as the space marines are going to, get their ass kicked, we'll see the good old new jetpack assault marines coming into the fray,
That would be cool.
saving everyone. And then it'll take off the helmet and it'll be Captain Titus. Who would have seen that coming?
That would be insane. Like, once again, if they could get their head out of their butt and make a tie-in with Space Marine 2 and the new edition, 40K is going to be mainstream in the nerd world.
Yeah, it would be amazing if they could do that.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
I mean, Space Marine 2 still doesn't have a release date. And the
Yep.
fact that we're already almost 4 months into this new year, and June is only in 2 more months, really. I don't think it's gonna be coming out in June. Space Marine 2, not the 10th edition.
We'll see. We'll see.
We shall see. But we've mentioned these. So we got some videos that were presented. One was leaked by accident by GW again. Doing really good over there. But the first one was the Tyranid looking at a Terminator. All we see is in the reflection of the eyes. And then, of course, we got the reverse video, which one? This one being leaked by GW on accident, so they claim. Where it's just the reverse figure of the Terminator looking down.
In a Terminator.
So, we already know. Well, we don't know. Heavily rumored that the 10th edition box will be Tyranid Space Marines.
So,
are you thinking this is going to be Kill Team?
So this is going to be Space Hulk. I think this is a Space Hulk relaunch because they straight up said the word Space and Hulk on their Facebook post. So the quote is, "Give this brutal Hulk some space to deal with the Xenos infestation." So I'm like 95% sure this is Space Hulk. A Space Hulk relaunch with Primaris Terminators. That would be crazy because this would be the only place to get Primaris Terminators, and Space Hulk is, a niche board game. So, yeah, it could be the new Kill Team theme with Space Hulk, but that means Terminators and Kill Team, which would be weird. So I'm hoping it's not that. I would be down with, Space Hulk being a classic, right? And they always relaunch it every few years. So I am hoping it is Space Hulk.
Well, it'd be nice to get a new Space Hulk, considering the last time we had Space Hulk was what, 2017. Well, they re-released it.
Yes, no, you're right. It came out in its previous form in 2012, and then it was re-released at around 2016 or 17.
Yeah,
I think late 2016. Yeah, it was late 2016. So yeah, it is about time for new Space Hulk.
Yeah, well, it's been over 10 years since the last Space Hulk.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Adepticon, I'm sure this will be revealed as well in Adepticon. Because it's its own little thing. So I'm excited. I'll keep this recording. I'll have these notes written down, and we'll go over it when next week, when Adepticon happens. And we'll see how far off we are. Which never happens. We're always pretty much on the mark. But that would be it. That would be all the Warhammer news for last week and this week.
Oh, they did announce that you... Did we talk about the Necromunda book?
No, we didn't.
So I just linked it. Essentially, there's going to be another Necromunda campaign book. So it's going to be the continuation of this narrative arc for Necromunda. And, not like a create your own narrative, but, the actual story of Necromunda with new succession going on. So that's cool. I mean, I think it was a bold move to create some canon stories for Necromunda. And I'm curious to see where it goes, if this is going to lead to something big. Because, campaign books lead to something usually, some big shakeup in the lore of a setting, and it seems that it might set up a new Lord of Necromunda. I know if Hera is going to be the new planetary governor, I don't know, we'll see, but it's leading to something. So,
well, let us hope. Let us hope that one day our campaign will get off the ground.
yes, yeah, that is a dream.
But you did post something else, and it's Star Wars Legion related.
Yes. So, actually, there's another thing. I'll post this right now. We have some time, and let's make up for lost time last week. So, but first, yes, Ahsoka was announced today officially. I mean, she was at a stream before. We had a primed Ahsoka model in one of the AMG streams, so we knew she was coming, but now they have revealed her full model, painted up and up for pre-order and up for release on May 19th. So she is Rebel Ahsoka, so this adult Ahsoka from Star Wars Rebels, not Padawan Ahsoka from Clone Wars. And she is playable in the Rebel faction. So I'm pretty excited about this. I will be able to run Ahsoka and Operative Luke. That's gonna be super exciting. I think this is the year where John plays double Jedi. But yeah, this is exciting. I already pre-ordered her at my local game store, so can't wait for it to come out. It's also a really cool model. I love that design. The grown-up Ahsoka design is super cool. With the color scheme, the white lightsabers is dope. Yeah, this is exciting, and it's more content for Rebels. Rebels have not had a lot of content. Besides, I think actually that's a lie. They got Mando and Boba. Never mind. They have gotten content, so more content. I mean, they're not. I guess what I'm saying is they're not in a good place right now in the meta. So hopefully Ahsoka does something. I mean, after Worlds next week at Adepticon, there's a new balance update for Legion. Hopefully Rebels get some fixes to make them better than their current state, because right now they're kind of not in a really good spot. But either way, this is a beloved character in the Star Wars community, and seeing her in Legion is great. I mean, I wish she also was in the Republic, but I mean, whatever. I'll play her in my Rebels.
I'm sure you'll get Padawan Ahsoka eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's that, and I posted something on our news channel, because they revealed the cards for Commander Cody.
All right, well, let's take a look at this.
Yes, so we got Commander Cody, he's the dude that shot Obi-Wan during Episode 3, but he's also a major character in the Clone Wars TV show. So we already knew his card, but let's go over it really quick. He has, Clone Commander Cody. He is a HQ commander. He has Observe 2, which it's a free action. It gives a unit 2 Observe tokens if they're within range 3, enemy unit, and friendly units are attacking them get to spend an Observe token to reroll 1 dice. So it's kind of like a reverse aim. So he gets that. He has Jump 1 because he has a jetpack. He has Take Cover 1, so he can spend an action, give another unit a dodge token. He has Direct Vehicle, which is, I think, one of his key features So direct essentially means you can give a free order during the command phase to whatever unit it lists. And it lists vehicles. So if you have a vehicle and you have Cody, that vehicle is getting a free order every turn if they're within range 2. So clearly he does benefit from vehicle play. You want to take any vehicle with him because, you know, that's a pretty powerful rule and it's definitely baked into his points cost. I mean, if anything, you could get like an ATRT with comms relay, so you could relay the order to something else, because free orders are king in Legion. He also has target 1, so if he gets an order, he gets a aim token. It's pretty neat. Not as good as tactical, but, you know, it's a free aim token, right? Red save, 5 health, 2 courage. Wish it was courage 3, especially in the new meta with the new suppression rules, but I'm not complaining about courage 2. Surge to crit, pretty good. Speed 2, pretty good. Advanced combat training, 2 red dice in melee. You don't want to be in melee with this guy, but if you ever find yourself in melee, it's 2 red dice. And his DC 15A blaster, it's pretty strong. Range 4, which is pretty far. 2 red, 1 black, 1 white. Lethal 1, which is you can spend an aim token to get Pierce. And you get Impact 1, so you get a 1 hit becomes a crit against armored targets. So far, it's 105 points, which is pretty cheap for a named commander. So far, so good. I like him. He's a very jack of all trades commander. He has a lot of good support abilities with observe, take cover, direct, target, you know, because clones can share aim tokens. But he's also pretty good at shooting things. You know, his gun is range 4, 2 red, 1 black, 1 white, and surge to crit. Pretty powerful. So he looks like he can do a lot of things. If you want him to stay in the back and do some supporting, he does that. If you want him to take some shots, he does that as well. So that is his unit card. And then we got go into his command cards. So he has really interesting command cards. So his 1 pip, bring it down. So during his activation, Cody may perform his observe action up to 2 more times. When a friendly unit declares an attack against an enemy unit that is an observation token, you may spend the token. If you do, the attack gains suppressive if the enemy is a trooper, or impact 1 if the enemy is a vehicle. So that's pretty solid. He gets to observe 3 different things instead of just 1, and units shooting at those things get a benefit other than rerolls. So, yeah, I mean, if you have if let's say you observe a unit, it gets 2 observation tokens, and I'm pretty sure you could observe the same unit more than once. You could really stack that suppressive thing. So if you, let's say there's a unit of death troopers which are courage 2, and you throw observe on them, 1 unit shoots at them, they get suppressive. It's 2 suppression tokens, and then another unit shoots at them, spends the other observation token. That's 2 more suppression tokens, so now they're suppressed, and actually now they're panicked. So that's pretty good. Impact 1 is good in a vehicle meta. Now that we're seeing lots of vehicles coming back, just being able to punch some crits through is good. Interestingly, this card doesn't do anything against Dark Troopers because they're not vehicles and they're immune to suppression. So, fun fact there: if clone players are like, "Ooh, it's another tool against Dark Troopers," no, it doesn't do anything. So that's his 1 pip. His 2 pip, have I ever let you down? That's an interesting one. So what it does is when a unit is issued an order by while a unit that was issued an order by this card is at range 1 of Commander Cody and suffers a wound from an enemy attack, after the attack is resolved, if Cody is within range 4 and has line of sight to the enemy unit, he may perform a free attack against that unit. So TLDR, if a unit that was issued an order by this card is attacked and suffers wounds, Cody gets to shoot at them for free. There's no limit to this, so if that unit keeps getting shot, he could keep shooting back. So obviously the counterplay to this is to not shoot the unit he's given orders to, but this also means that you want to give this order to, you want to give the order to a unit with Guardian. Guardian is the rule that lets you tank hits from units that are nearby. Obi-Wan is actually a really good recipient of this card, which makes sense because he's in the picture of the card. So Obi-Wan has like Guardian 3, and a lot of Obi-Wan's rules support being Guardian. So a good play with this is to, walk up in turn 2 or 3, use this card, give it to Obi-Wan, and now, Cody's shooting at things that are hurting Obi-Wan. It's a pretty niche card overall, but it's I don't see this being taken unless Obi-Wan's there, or if you have the new clone upgrade that gives the unit Guardian. So it's pretty niche, but when it happens, being hit by Cody's Surge to crit Rainbow Red Dice is pretty good. And finally, we got his 3-pip, which is Combined Arms. So this gives an order to 2 troopers and 2 vehicles. So during his activation, Clone Commander Cody may perform his Observe action up to 2 more times, just like his 1-pip. When a friendly vehicle unit declares an attack against an enemy unit that has an observation token, they may spend the token. If they do, after the attack, a friendly clone trooper unit at range 1 of the vehicle may perform a speed 1 move. So this is a card that supports far supporting. So you use this card, and then you do the observation. Interestingly, this card does not have any order requirements, so as long as a vehicle attacks something, another friendly unit within range 1 can benefit from the speed 1 move. So the straightforward combo is you shoot a vehicle at something, the unit fire supports, which takes up their whole activation, and then the unit can immediately make a move to make up for the fact that it lost an activation by fire supporting. Alternatively, you could use this card to give another unit a free speed 1 move. But if you need to get some objectives or walk up the field really quick, that's a good use for this card. So overall, I like his command cards. They're not too flashy, they're not too crazy. They're very support-intensive command cards. A lot of them involve observation tokens. One of them involves really relies on Guardian. So he's a very support-oriented commander with his command cards. And then, Clone Command, the Cody's box also comes with 2 upgrades for your clone squads. You could add Waxer and Boyle, which are some special characters. Waxer gives Scout and Discipline to a unit. Discipline lets them remove a suppression token if they get an order. And then Boyle gives Scout and Guardian 1. Guardian, like I mentioned earlier, lets him tank hits from other units nearby. So yeah, that's Cody. He is pretty exciting for Republic. Republic hasn't had a release since Yoda and Wookiees. And having a commander that helps vehicles is really good. I like the Saber Tank, but I've yet to run it because I have yet to find a list that I could play I can be satisfied with the Saber Tank. So, but with Cody having direct and giving that vehicle link targeting array, that vehicle gets a free aim token every turn and an order. I definitely see myself running the Saber Tank more and more. So he's a cool release. More content for Republic players is always good. I mean, Legion is a game. It's still a baby in the grand scheme of war games, so more content is always good content.
Well, yeah, I mean, any content is good content. And so the game is still kicking around.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, I look forward to fighting it. I don't think I've ever fought Clone Troopers.
Oh, really? Maybe I should bring it next time.
Yeah, I've only fought the robots, the drug dealers, and the rebels.
Got it. Yeah, maybe I should. And Empire. You fought Empire.
Well, of course.
Yeah. Maybe I'll bring Clone at some point. Maybe when he comes out, I'll bring a Saber Tank. Finally get to play it. But yeah, that's Commander Cody.
Alrighty then. Well, I say we just jump into what we've been doing.
Yeah.
Going on for a while here. I'll start. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
For me, I've been just slowly chipping away at my painting projects. Last week I was doing Shadows of Brimstone. This week I'm probably gonna jump back to 40k, paint up some models there. But feeling good about this right now. Feel like I'm accomplishing a lot of stuff. It's a shame because Resident Evil 4 is coming out this week, so I know that's gonna eat up a lot of my time and discipline. But I'm still keeping forward to it, still managing to get through and making room so I can put more stuff into my closet of shame. But yeah, it's going well. In terms of gaming, let's see, what did we do? Last week was 40k. We did a 2,000 point game, 2v1. We did Black Templars and Sisters of Battle versus 2,000 points of Orcs. It was very scary in the beginning, as the Orcs were just devastating us. But we managed to pull it off via objectives. We managed to score our secondaries like crazy, but it was pretty brutal. It was a brutal fight. But yeah, we managed to pull it off. That was fun. And yeah, I haven't really done any other wargaming since then. What about you? What have you been up to, John?
So this past week I was at New York for work, so not really any hobbying or gaming. But the previous week I played a game against Paulo with a Legion game. I ran my Shadow Collective, and yeah, I played Ball against Dark Troopers, and yeah, Jedi really mess Dark Troopers up, especially with Force Choke. So I mean, initially the game was kind of uphill for me because Dark Troopers, right? They were right in the middle. I had to deal with them. But eventually I just slugged it out, and Maul was able to take them out. I lost my Black Suns quite early; they just got blasted, but I was able to recover, get the game back with Darth Maul, and just holding the center line and protecting my rear with some pikes, and I got the win. Close game for sure. And then the next day I played another game with a buddy at Next Gen Games in LA. Same thing. I played my Shadow Collective list against Aiden ATST list, and it was super cool. He was a newer player, so I wasn't as hardcore, but it was definitely one of the closest games I played of Legion. Literally came down to a single pike capo. Essentially, I had the box. It was recover the supplies, which sure you're supposed to take the boxes. I think we played that mission when we did a 2v1. But yeah, the Pike Capo had the box, and if the ATST killed the Capo, it would be a tie, so he would go to victory points killed, and he would have won. But because ATST was rolling hot the whole game, killed Maul, killed a bunch of units, but the final turn he could not do it. Now, to be fair, I had like 2 dodge tokens on the Capo with 4 health, so essentially I had 6 health. But yeah, he whiffed the final shot, and I was able to survive and win the game. Super fun. This week I got the semifinals for the Geeky Tees Legion League. I'm still deciding what to play. I'm between Shadow Collective, Darth Vader, or Double Bounty Dark Troopers with Boba Fett and IG-88. I think I'm gonna do the Double Bounty. That's the list I'm most comfortable with. But Vader tank sounds really fun, so I don't know. We'll see. I have until Thursday to decide. But yeah. I did paint Shadow Collective Darth Maul because I've been using the CIS Darth Maul, but I think the Dark Saber model deserves to be painted because I always run with the Dark Saber. So
Well, yeah, that sounds like a fun time. I do love when the games are really close.
yeah, that's the best.
It's always the best feeling when you win by such a slim RNG chance.
Right.
It's always fun. Obviously, it doesn't feel fun when you lose to that slim RNG chance, but when you win by it, ooh, it's a rush.
Yes, yes.
Alrighty then. Well, unfortunately, this week I'll be working a lot, so not much gaming on. Yeah, not much war gaming for me. So it'll be strictly painting on my end this week. So, what about you? Anything planned for this week?
Just that league game. I think some 30K on Friday, but we'll see.
I see. Well, I think we can end it there. I'd like to thank everyone who made it to the end. And we'll see you next time.
Later, everyone.